this is the internet. You guys only see what I let you see. So I guess that's what you guys been seeing. It's just always something. Someone said she's so beautiful inside and out. Thank you so much. I honestly feel like a lot of people don't see that with me. They just see negativity.
It's not insecurity,
but I'm really not pretty.
I don't like feeling like this. I don't like looking like this. I know my man don't like looking at somebody that just looks busty.
Am I married? As of right now, I'm not married.
Do I know how to cook? No.
NBA meme says Dejounte Murray won in life. Now, honestly, I think it's the other way around because you don't know who that baby mama is. If you can't tell, that's NBA Youngboy. Yes, the same woman in that previous photo is NBA Youngboy's baby mama. Now, that could be a blessing and a curse, however you take that. But let's just say she stayed in the NBA.
fake love, I don't need it, you can keep it as a fake. I had to make up my mind. I took that weight on my shoulders. I done been down for.
When Jania got with her new athlete boyfriend, we already knew the play. She was securing yet another rich man, and this came after King Von, Jada Youngin, YBN Almighty Jay Lewis, the same scammer that allegedly also talked to Dream Doll.
Now, fans and supporters were really upset because there was a lot of evidence that was showing that Jania was with Geechee. Now, this is the picture that Geechee posted on his Instagram story.
Fredo Bang and whoever else I forgot to mention. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Women have been leveraging their beauty and status for centuries. But what's frustrating, especially for those who actually care about Jania, is the fact that she keeps placing herself under these men instead of standing beside them or above them.
Why are you always in the house? I'm not always in the house. I tend to only get on live or something if I'm in the house because like I just don't be out in public with my phone up on live and shit. But I'm not always in the house. I be running the streets, boo.
But we're not married. I just wear the rings because I like them. Like, aren't they cute?
Do I like being a basketball girlfriend? Does it get boring at times? If you didn't have any kids, it definitely could get boring.
Wasn't you just crying about putting yourself first? Friend, I don't know what a boyfriend is. You guys know more than me. Clearly, y'all living my life for me.
It definitely could get boring. The routine has to continue whether my man's here or not. So it really don't get boring to me. Do I ever travel with the team? I mean, I could, but packing up, if you have kids, you know, packing up 2 kids plus myself and going is a lot. So I would rather just chill at home, and I'll see you when you get home, boo. I don't like feeling like this. I don't like looking like this. I know my man don't like looking at somebody that just looks busty.
Once she learns self-love and how to be by herself, she'll be all right. She's improving, though.
Do I know how to cook? No, I don't. But I seem to always have food.
Jania is a prize. She has a brand, an audience, and the influence to be bigger than just so-and-so's girlfriend. But instead of making a man chase her, she willingly plays the role of the trophy, sitting pretty on the shelf rather than leading the game. The problem isn't that she's dating rich men, it's that she's settling for being their accessory when she could be their equal, or better yet, running the show herself. And this brings us back to the main issue, is that Jania Meshell paints a narrative on the internet and then she gets mad when people speculate. Jania spent years using the internet to tell her story, profit from her struggles, and maintain relevance. It was okay when she needed people to support her businesses, send gifts, and boost engagement, but now that the people have opinions, suddenly she wants to draw a line between the internet and reality. You can't have it both ways. If you invite people into your world and make money off their engagement, they're going to have thoughts on the choices you make.
Like, it's giving Shop Jania Meshell Co. Hello. We packed all the orders. So if y'all order, your order is going out in the morning. Y'all know it's late. So they going out in the morning and y'all need to go shop, okay?
The same fans who kept her name alive are now being told to stay out of her business. But when you live your life on the internet, your business is the internet's business. At the core of this conversation isn't hate, it's frustration. It's tough to watch someone with all the potential in the world shrink themselves for the sake of being chosen instead of realizing they've been the prize all along. Supporters don't want to see Jania settle for being another player's girlfriend or another rapper's baby mama when she could be the boss of her own empire. But if she chooses to remain in the shadows, she can't be mad when people call it out.
A lot of bitches don't like me, but guess what? I don't like you. I want to start off by saying thank you to all my real supporters. You guys don't go unnoticed. You might feel like you do, but you don't.
The fans, the real ones, aren't hating. They just know she could be so much more. And what happens when you support someone for years believing in their potential only to watch them continuously play small? What happens when the people who once lifted them up get dismissed as haters the moment they ask tough questions? Today, we're diving into Jania Meshell's journey, the evolution from being NBA Youngboy's baby mama to building her own brand to now being caught in a cycle that fans can't help but feel frustrated by. I don't make the news, I just report it. And from where I'm sitting, the issue isn't just Jania, it's the pattern, the internet's selective memory, and the way supporters are treated like disposable ATMs, only valuable when it benefits the person they're supporting. This is about wasted potential, selective narratives, and the frustrating reality of watching someone who could be a mogul settle for being a trophy. And to fully understand this, we have to go back. Jania Meshell wasn't just another girl in the NBA Youngboy's life. She was one of the most visible ones. She wasn't the first, she wasn't the last, but she was the one who took her association with him and flipped it into an actual career. She started a YouTube channel, built a brand, and even launched businesses. And the fans, they ate it up. Let's not act like people weren't rooting for her. When she had Casey, people showed up, sending gifts, buying from baby registries, and helping her business ventures. Rather, it was hair, lashes, waist trainers, or whatever else she decided to sell. People were there. And for a moment, it really seemed like Jania was stepping into her own. She had the influence, she had the visibility, and she had the support. But then things started to shift. So let's call it what it is. Jania has a pattern. And again, there's nothing wrong with securing a rich man. Women do it all the time. But when you're a woman who has the ability to be just as powerful, if not more, why keep making yourself smaller to fit into someone else's world? Jania left NBA Youngboy, but instead of truly standing on her own, she found herself in another high-profile relationship, this time with a basketball player. And here's where it gets interesting. He was reportedly a fan of NBA Youngboy.
They know I be the murder man, we bust his brains up in that water. All these niggas talking about killing me, so bet let's get it started.
This is what you like.
Free Youngboy.
No, Keith, this is like locked up.
The city kinda fucked up right now. Murder at the murder. Take the bill, run that motherfucker.
Nah, we ain't changing this. Y'all crazy. It's that shit.
Play feel like a king.
Play feel like a king. Play, Randy song.
Now let's break that down. Let's talk about that. What are the chances that out of all the men in the world, the person Jania ends up with just so happens to be someone who admired her ex? He plotted his way into Jania Meshell's life, seeing as how she was so gullible being with NBA Youngboy, and how the blogs have already stated in the past and present that Dejounte Murray is controlling and likes to control the narrative in his relationships with the women that he chooses to be with, and he definitely likes to take care of them, even to the point where he doesn't want to see them elevate and do things on their own because he wants them to fully depend on him and not be independent outside of him. Sounds like a narcissist to me.
Oh, you know, why you guys didn't take pictures when you did the reveal? You know, of course I didn't want to do them by myself, but he had to leave that day. It's just always something.
I think we had our stage where like we took photos and shit, like we'll post them and then we'll take them down, like, you know, just being immature. Like, you know, I was immature, she was immature. For me, I hate the internet. You know, we was immature in that stage, so it's like for me, I've been more so trying to get shit together before I run to the internet. And a lot of motherfuckers is pretending on the internet. You see in this world is so fake, but in real life, it ain't none of that. We gonna get there. Like, I want to build an empire. Favorite memory, when we first seen each other on the couch. She was sitting on the couch. One thing about me, like if you come around me or I allow you around me, cool, it's cool to be shy, but don't be awkward. It's just sitting looking awkward. I was about to be like, I'm out of here.
Are you serious?
If that doesn't give you obsession with proximity to fame vibes, I don't know what does. Dejounte and Murray knew who Jania Meshell was before Jania knew who he was, if you know what I'm saying. And I really don't know how Dejounte Murray and Jania Meshell got together, but if y'all know, somebody let me know down in the comments. Educate me, please. Because immediately after Dejounte Murray and Jilly broke up, you guys, is when NBA Youngboy and Jania Meshell left each other alone, and then that's when Dejounte Murray and Jania Meshell got together. And just from everything Jania has been putting on the internet concerning her and Dejounte's relationship for the past 3 or 4 years or so, you guys, it just gives me the vibes that Dejounte Murray was looking for someone else to control after he realized that he wasn't able to control Jilly. And after doing more research to find out why Jilly and Dejounte happened to break up, you guys, it seemed as if they just couldn't agree to disagree on some things that were happening and transpiring in their relationship. And instead of Dejounte trying to work it out with Jilly, you guys, he ran straight to social media and posted this on his Instagram story about Jilly. He posted gold diggers on his Instagram story, you guys, with the emoji of the person throwing something away in the trash. And as soon as Dejounte had posted this to his Instagram story, you guys, everybody ran with the narrative that he was calling his ex-girlfriend Jilly a gold digger, which resulted in Jilly taking to her Twitter, you guys, to respond to what Dejounte Murray had posted on his Instagram story about her, and this is what she had to say. Thank you. Next. Note to self, when the Lord gives you a sign, stop ignoring that MFer. A ninja will be quick to call you a gold digger, but has never paid a single bill, doesn't pay my rent, car note, phone bill, the list goes on and on. Gold digger where? Miss me with that BS. Just pure ignorance. I hate that I even have to entertain such stupidity, but when a little boy wants to speak falsely of my character, that's another story. Jilly also posted to her Instagram story, you guys, it said born and raised with gold, and a picture of her house, and said home sweet home, H-time. And what a coincidence. Jania Meshell is also from Houston, just like Jilly. Dejounte clearly has a type. And I know how y'all love trying to send Jania Meshell my videos, and so if y'all send her this video and she happens to be watching this, I just want her to pay real close attention to how similar Dejounte Murray's actions were with his ex-girlfriend Jilly compared to how they are with her, and how she feels the way that she feels because of how he's been treating her as of late.
NBA meme says Dejounte Murray won in life. Now, honestly, I think it's the other way around because you don't know who that baby mama is.
But the real frustration comes from how Jania positions herself in these relationships. Instead of making men chase her, she positions herself under them. Instead of using her influence to build a legacy, she uses it to be arm candy. Instead of stepping into the power she already has, she keeps seeking validation through relationships. And for those of us who know what she's capable of, that's frustrating. And this brings us to the most hypocritical part of this whole situation, that Jania paints a narrative on the internet and gets mad when people speculate. For years, Jania has shared her life online. She made money off of it. She built her brand around transparency, letting people into her ups and downs. People were invested because she made them invested. So why is that now when fans have thoughts about her choices, suddenly they're being told to separate the internet from reality?
I think y'all have internet and reality confused.
Let's be real. It was okay when people's engagement meant money. It was okay when they were spending their hard-earned coins on baby registries, hair, lashes, and waist trainers. It was okay when support meant boosting her platform. But now that people are questioning why she keeps playing the role of a trophy instead of a boss, now they're haters. Now they're delusional. You can't have it both ways. If you live your life publicly and make a living off of it, people will have opinions. And this is where it gets personal, y'all. Because fans aren't mad that Jania is dating. They're not even mad that she's in another high-profile relationship. They're mad because they see her as a first-round draft pick who keeps acting like she's second best. They see her as someone who could be an empire builder, yet she keeps choosing to be a supporting character in someone else's success story, and that hurt. It's like watching someone with all the tools to win choose to sit on the sidelines. The fans who actually care about Jania aren't haters. They're frustrated because they see her wasting what could be an incredible legacy, not just as someone's girlfriend or someone's baby mama, but as a boss in her own right. But if she keeps choosing to be in the shadows, she can't be mad when people call it out. And at the end of the day, Jania isn't the first and won't be the last to fall into this cycle. And let's be honest, it works for a lot of women. Some are happy to just be the girlfriend or the baby mama of a successful man. But when you see someone as more than that, when you know that they could be bigger, when you've supported them, invested in them, and watched them grow, it's hard to sit back and watch them shrink themselves. So call it what you want, frustration, tough love, or just keeping it real, but the facts remain. Jania's fans built her platform. They supported her businesses. They believed in her vision. And now when they express their frustration, they're the bad guys, they're crazy, they're delusional, they're haters, they're jealous, they're envious. No, that's not how this works. If Jania really wants to separate the internet from reality, then maybe she should stop painting narratives for the internet when it benefits her. Because as long as you invite people into your world, you can't be mad when they have something to say about it. So what do you guys think? Do you think Jania is just living her life and people are too invested? Or how can you feel that way if she's a public figure and this is how we all even got to know her in the first place? Or do you see where the frustration comes from? Let's talk about it in the comments, because one thing about me, I don't make the news, y'all. I just report it. But this one stings even more as a loyal supporter of NBA Youngboy's baby mama Jania, y'all, because let's be real, Jania Meshell would not be where she is today without the fans. Before Dejounte Murray, before the brand deals, before the clout, it was the supporters who put Jania on. It was the Youngboy fans, the gossip pages, the blogs, the women who saw themselves in Jania and wanted to see her win. Those are the people who helped Jania rise. We supported her when she was NBA Youngboy's girlfriend and baby mama. We supported her when she became a mother. We supported her when she left him and found her independence. We supported her businesses, bought her lashes, her waist trainers, her clothes, her water bottles, you name it. We were the ones who engaged, who boosted her content, who made her a name outside of just being NBA Youngboy's baby mama. And she took all that love, all that support, all that energy, and she ran with it. And we were proud of her, y'all. Because for once, it looked like she was finally stepping into her own. She had the influence, she had the visibility, she had the resources. She was no longer just a rapper's ex. She was Jania Meshell, a brand of her own. And then what did she do? She ran right back into another man's shadow. And it's one thing to see someone fumble the bag. It's another thing to watch them throw it away on purpose. Because Jania didn't need a man. She still don't need a man to make it. She is already made. She built a strong female fan base that related to her struggles. She had a YouTube platform where she could have became a lifestyle influencer. She could have been hosting, creating content, building an empire.
Why did I stop club appearances? I really stopped posting because I just wanted to be with my men. Like, it came a time where I'm like, damn, I gotta host and I gotta be with my men. And then it just became, you know, I got pregnant and I couldn't host while I was pregnant. From me saying I want to be with my man, shit just started happening back to back to back to back to back. Me getting pregnant. That's what really stopped it.
I want to build an empire. I want to build an empire. I want to build an empire.
She could have been the face of her own movement, and she still can. But instead, she wants to become a basketball wife. And listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting love. Nothing wrong with dating a successful man. But when you already have the power to be someone who stands on her own and you choose to become someone's trophy, that's when it feels like a slap in the face to the people who believed in you. And here's the part that stings the most. We were only good enough when you needed us. We were only good enough when you needed views. We were only good enough when you needed engagement. We were only good enough when you needed us to buy from your businesses. We were only good enough when she needed people to defend her against Youngboy's other baby mamas or whatever was going on. We were good enough when she needed the support system that Youngboy never gave her. But now that she's secure, or now that she secured the NBA contract, baby, and the lifestyle, we're haters. We're delusional. We need to separate the internet from reality. Jania, where was this energy when you needed us to help you build your brand? Because we've seen this happen too many times. A woman gets put on a high profile relationship. She gains her own following, builds her own brand, gets her own money, and just when we think she's about to level up, she shrinks herself back down to fit inside a man's world. And the crazy part, Jania isn't even an exception. This is what happens over and over again in the industry. Ari Fletcher built herself up after G Herbo only to revolve her world around Moneybag Yo. Jada Waiter became a businesswoman, yet people still define define her by Lil Baby. Jania Meshell had everything she needed to stand alone, yet she chose to play the background. And why do women who have everything to be powerful keep handing over their power? Jania didn't need to be a basketball wife to be successful. She was already successful. And Jania didn't need a man to validate her. She was already validated. So why, after everything, is she still making herself small? The hypocrisy behind y'all need to separate the internet from reality.
I think y'all have internet and reality confused.
This is where we really need to talk, because Jania telling us that we need to separate the internet from reality. But Jania, like, wasn't it you who put your life on the internet? Wasn't it you who used the internet to sell us things, to tell your story, to make money? Wasn't it you who wanted people invested when it was benefiting you? Now all of a sudden people need to mind their business. Like, make it make sense. You can't paint a narrative and invite people into your world and make money off of the attention and then get mad when people have thoughts. It was all good when we were defending you, supporting your businesses, and helping you build the platform that you now eat off of. But now when people are asking why you keep making yourself small for a man, now they're the bad guys. Like, you can't have it both ways. If you want privacy, live privately. And if you want to move in silence, stop selling your life as content. But don't get mad when the same internet that made you has something to say about how you move. At the end of the day, this is not hate. It's more so disappointment, because we saw Jania's potential. We knew she could be bigger than just someone's ex. We believed that she could take the fame and flip it into something legendary, but instead she took the easy way out. She let another man's money and status define her instead of standing in her own light. She let herself be put on the shelf instead of running the whole store. And the saddest part, she doesn't even see it, and maybe she never will. But the next time someone calls her fans delusional or haters, just remember, we weren't delusional when we were spending our money. We weren't haters when we were pushing her content. We weren't crazy when we believed in her more than she believed in herself. And she used us to become famous. She used us to build her wealth. And when she didn't need us anymore, she discarded us like we never mattered. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, we don't make the news. We just report it. For years, people have labeled Since Day One as a hater when it comes to Jania Meshell. And honestly, I'm tired of hearing it. If you've been following my platform, then you know I have been one of Jania's biggest supporters since she broke away from NBA Youngboy and started building her own name. I have defended her, uplifted her, and even spent my hard-earned money supporting her businesses. So to hear people try to discredit my perspective by calling me jealous or bitter, that's laughable. Because let's be real, I don't hate Jania. I never have, but I do feel disappointed. And if people can't separate the two, maybe that says more about you than it does about me. Because when I speak on this, it's not coming from a place of hate. It's coming from frustration. Frustration that I've supported someone so hard only to watch them throw away their own potential. Let's start with the facts. Jania Meshell did not get to where she is today on her own. That's not shade. That's reality.
I think y'all have internet and reality confused.
When she was with NBA Youngboy, she was simply known as his girlfriend, the mother of his child, the one who went through a toxic public relationship that had everyone talking. And during that time, who had her back the most? The fans. We defended her. We supported her. We helped her get out of Youngboy's shadow. And when she finally broke free and started making a name for herself, we were happy for her. She had the opportunity to become more than just Youngboy's baby mama. She could have built an empire off of her influence alone. And for a while, it looked like that was exactly what she was doing. She built her brand, she created businesses, she had a loyal fan base buying her products and engaging with her content. We cheered for her like we were cheering for ourselves, because in so many ways, some of us saw ourselves in Jania. I mean, I know I did. I've had to learn how to navigate life without certain advantages, just like Jania. And when I saw her trying to elevate herself, it inspired me to do the same. So when I say I love Jania, I mean that. I supported her because I saw a piece of myself in her journey, which is why this next part hurts so much. Because just when it seemed like Jania was stepping into her power, Jania chose to go backwards. Instead of continuing to build her own brand, she settled into the role of a basketball wife. Instead of standing on her own, she became part of a man's shadow again. And listen to me when I say there is nothing wrong with love. There is nothing wrong with being with a successful man. But when you've already proven that you can stand on on your own, why choose to shrink yourself? Jania had all of the tools to be a powerhouse and still does. She has the influence. She has the businesses. She has the supporters backing her up. And yet she decided to throw it all away to become a trophy wife. What makes this situation worse is that her new man was a fan of NBA Youngboy. That alone raises red flags for me because it makes me wonder, was this love or was this strategy? Like, was this relationship built on genuine feelings, or was this just about trying to lock in yet another wealthy man? And again, there's nothing wrong with dating rich. There's nothing wrong with wanting security. But when you've already built yourself up, why make yourself small for a man instead of making him rise to meet you? And so the real problem in the disconnection for me is Jania turned on her biggest supporters. And here's where things took a turn. Jania didn't just move on. She turned her back on the people who built her. She started calling her most loyal supporters delusional.
What I think about since day one, delusional. You
bitches want to know the secret to being happy? Delusion. Why be depressed when I could be delusional? Think I'm gonna face my problems when I can act like they not there? Bitch, I'm doing good. What is you talking about?
Jealous and obsessed. The same people who defended her against Youngboy's fan base, supported her businesses, bought her lashes and whatever else she was selling, showed up for her when she needed numbers, engagement, and validation. We were only good enough when she needed us, and now that she's got her National Basketball Association man, we're haters. Now that she's comfortable, we're jealous. But let's really talk about it. How can people call me jealous when they're sitting in my comments watching my content? I built my platform from the ground up just like Jania did. I created my own lane just like Jania did. And instead of complaining in the comments, I actually put in the work to build a space where these conversations can happen. So if I'm jealous, then what are y'all? Because let's be honest, people love to project their insecurities onto others, and they see me running my own platform, speaking my truth. And instead of doing the same, y'all sit in the comments crying about how I hate Jania. But the reality is, I don't hate her. I just don't like sugarcoating the truth. And the truth is, Jania used us to get to where she wanted to be and then threw us away the moment that we were no longer needed. And the hypocrisy in behind it all is that she told us just the other day when I was editing a video, like, it dawned on me. She said that we need to separate the internet from reality. Jania loves to say things like that all the time, that we need to separate the internet from reality. But it was Jania who used the internet to get to where she is. Like, it was Jania who needed the internet when she was selling products. Like, it was Jania who built a career off of internet engagement. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't paint a narrative online and make money off of it and then get mad when people discuss it. It was all good, you know, when we were pushing content and spending money and defending. But now that people have opinions, suddenly we're too invested and we need to mind our business. At the end of the day, I want Jania to win. I've always wanted her to win. I want her to be more than just another rapper's ex or another athlete's wife. I wanted her to take everything she built and turn it into something unstoppable. I wanted her to be a woman that other women could look up to, not just because of who she dated, but because of what she built for herself. And when I saw her throw away all of that potential to be in the background again, it made me mad. So no, I don't hate Jania. I don't wish bad on her, but I will hold her accountable for the way she treated the people who helped build her career. I will speak on the hypocrisy of her trying to silence conversations that she once benefited from. And I will continue to report on what's happening, because at the end of the day, I don't make the news, I just report it. I just want to make one thing very clear, because when people get to know me, they love me. So I know for a sure fact that I'm not no hater. I don't got a lot of kick it. People love to throw that word around anytime someone speaks on Jania Meshell in a way that isn't blind praise. But let's really talk about it. Is it hating to want someone to see their worth? Is it hating to want someone to tap into their full potential? Because if that's hate, then I don't know what love is. For years, I've supported Jania, not just as a public figure, but as a young woman who had the potential to shine in her own light. I've rooted for her, defended her, and celebrated her growth. But when you truly care about someone's journey, you don't just cheer when things are good. You hold them accountable when they're losing themselves. That's not hate, that's real support. One thing about me, I have always believed in lifting people up when they're at their lowest because I know what that feels like. I know what it's like to come from a toxic environment. I know what it's like to struggle to find your own identity. And I know what it's like to feel like the whole world is against you.
This is just entertainment. A lot of people don't see that with me. They just see negativity. This is not real life. You guys have to start looking at the internet as entertainment.
So when I saw Jania step into the spotlight, I didn't just see a girl caught up in drama. I saw potential. I saw a young woman who had been through so much, but who had the ability to turn all that pain into power. And that's what made me ride for her so hard. I supported her not just because she was attached to NBA Youngboy, but because I wanted her to see herself the way so many of us saw her. I wanted her to understand that she was the prize. She still is the prize, and that she has the ability to build something bigger than any relationship could ever offer her. Because when you have the right support system, even the ugliest lemons can be turned into the finest lemonade. And here's the thing, sometimes when you believe in someone so much, you can get caught up in wishful thinking. For a while, I blurred the lines between what I hoped Jania would become and who she actually was choosing to be. I kept believing she could wake up one day and say, I don't need to be in any man's shadow, I am the light. I kept thinking she would see her own power the way so many of us saw it inside of her. And when she made moves that contradicted that, I felt some type of way. Not because I was mad at her, not because I wanted to see her fail, but because I knew she could be so much more. And that's where the frustration comes in. Not because I hate her, not because I'm jealous, but because I've always wanted her to see herself as the star she was meant to be. And I feel like one of my spiritual gifts are seeing people as their highest selves. Now let me explain something about myself as a content creator. I don't just see celebrities for who they are in the moment. I see them as their highest selves. I see them as the best version of themselves, the versions they might not even realize they can be yet. And with this spiritual gift comes a lot of pros and cons. The pro is that I can recognize potential before the person even sees it in themselves. The con is that when they don't live up to it, it's frustrating to watch. So when I talk about Jania, I'm not speaking from a place of negativity. I'm speaking from a place of knowing she could be so much more. And that's not just about her. It's about a lot of these young women in the public eye who don't even realize the power they hold. It's like watching someone with $1 million mindset settle for pennies. You just want to shake them and say, do you know who you are? But at the end of the day, people have to see their worth for themselves. And that's something that I'm learning. And I just want to say it again, like, I don't hate Jania Meshell. I don't wish bad on her, and I don't sit around hoping she fails. I don't create content just to tear her down. If anything, I have spent more time uplifting her than most people ever will. But what I will do is speak the truth. I will call out when I see wasted potential. I will talk about the things her fans are too afraid to say out loud, because real support isn't just praise, it's accountability. And if people want to call that hate, then maybe they need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why does this honest criticism make you so uncomfortable?
So long, sleeping from sofa to sofa. Now I'ma step on these little bitty bitches. In some brand new Gucci low, some Gucci walking. I got tired of eating Big Mama's chicken. Now it's business when I walk.